Hi, I'm Peter from Coffee Parts, and for those who've been watching the channel, you know I have a love for lever coffee machines. Now, the next best thing after a lever machine is a pressure profiling machine. And for that reason, we have on the channel the Sanremo U. Now we're gonna dive in and look at the specs of this machine really quickly, because after that we're gonna talk about pressure profiling, what makes the pressure profiling on this machine different, and other options in the market. Yo! The Sanremo U, what is it? In basic form, it is a twin boiler pressure profiling coffee machine. Twin boiler that you have 500 watt 500 ml brew boiler and a 1500 watt 1 litre steam boiler. And it's completely controlled by the screen here on the group head or Wi-Fi enabled app. But what Sanremo have done differently, especially on the pressure profiling, is the pump they've used. Where traditionally on pressure profiling you use a geared pump or a needle valve, Sanremo have developed and patented their own pump. They basically combine the rotary pump, which is super reliable, strong and efficient, with a dialysis pump, which has a whole lot of control. And with this, it's added a whole bunch of sensors in the machine. So now you can control that espresso to the nth degree. And you could do that with pressure profiling, but the difference here is now it's actually reading feedback from a whole bunch of areas. So as you want to go 6 bar, 9 bars, or whatever it might be, it's controlling the back pressure of the group head, adjusting it on the pump and really giving what you're designing in that. So to keep things simple, they've really redefined the pressure profiling aspect. Now from a steam approach, you can control the steam pressure all the way up to 2 bars, and that's quite a lot. But you can bring it down and up as much as you want, so it really depends on how good you are with milk. And with smaller jugs, the higher amount of pressure can be a little bit difficult to work with, but you've got control, so it doesn't matter. Now on the hot water tap, what they've done, like a few other machines have also done this, is they've blended cold water into the hot water. So you can say you want your hot water to say 80 degrees, and it'll do that. Because if you dial your steam pressure all the way up, naturally your hot water is gonna be quite hot. Bringing that cold water in really allows you to be able to do long blacks in a neat form. So you're not burning that long black. You've also got control of volume based on time. So you can set the time for X amount of seconds. And once you've worked out seconds and time on volume, you really have control of volume depending on what cup size for, let's say, your long blacks. And I feel that's really cool, considering this machine will probably be focused for black coffee drinkers that really want to play with profile, and that naturally would be drinking long blacks. But if you are drinking milk based, no problems, the steam is insane on this machine. Now you've got a reservoir tank here, but you don't have to use it. Like most machines, you can either use a reservoir or plumb it in and have a direct access from your mains. So all in all, this is a twin boiler pressure profiling machine with a whole bunch of controls and a few patents that really makes it unique. So now that we got the machine specs out of the way, let's look at pressure profiling and what it is and what makes it great, but the pros and the cons to it. So pressure profiling is the ability to control the pressure of your extraction at the group head through the shot. So if you really want a long pre-infusion, a long post-infusion, what pressure do you want to top out at? 12 bars, 9 bars? Do you want to run a shot at low pressure? Call it 6 bars all the way through, whatever you want. The cool thing about pressure profiling is you can emulate a lever shot. Now, as we know, I've mentioned it in this video and plenty of other videos, I love lever coffee machines. So I really find the coffee out of a lever to be quite beautiful. And with pressure profiling, you can really emulate that profile of the pre-infusion, the shot, and the post-infusion. But there has always been one drawback. With pressure profiling, it's hard to get consistency from shot to shot. Now, in the early days of pressure profiling, they used a needle valve, then they started using a geared pump. But effectively, if a variable change, so say the dose of the coffee from 20 grams to 18 grams or 19 grams between shots, you really got a variance in the profile. If you got variance in the grind adjustment, there is quite a lot of variances to coffee, and that variance combined with the pressure profile made it very inconsistent from shot to shot. When you nailed the shot, it was amazing, but you just didn't get that from shot to shot. Sanremo have looked at this and really gone, there's gotta be a better way. And effectively, like I said early in the video, they built a whole new pump that allowed for a lot more control by combining a rotary pump and a dialysis pump. On top of that, they added a whole bunch of sensors to read what was happening in the group head based on what you wanted it to do. So by knowing what you're doing here with the paddle or the profile you've set up through the screen, it knows what you want. It's now reading all those variances in the group head and conforming the pump to do what you wanted. So if you wanted the pump to be at that position at 6 bars, it's reading what it's doing there and not setting the pump to 6 bars, but setting it to the outcome of 6 bars. So really what you're now getting is consistency from shot to shot in the pressure profiling approach. Now that is pretty revolutionary and game changer. So you've heard enough about pressure profiling and you want to see the machine in real life. Let's go ahead, pull a shot and see this function in reality. But before I do, if you like the content so far, please like and subscribe. It really helps us grow and deliver even more content. With that said, let me get this portafilter, grind some coffee off camera, prep the puck and get into it. So we've ground 20 grams of coffee on the Eureka Libra just off camera. And now I'm just gonna prepare the puck with the WDT tool. Now we're using the MHW set of accessories. It doesn't actually come with the machine. In saying that, this machine did come with a tamper, milk jug and a few other little things, but I'm just really liking the MHW gear right now. So just using this gear. When it comes to the machine, one thing you'll notice once I pull the shot is just how incredibly quiet this is. Now, when it comes to pulling the shot, effectively you got 3 favorites you can pick from, which on the screen here, 1, 2, and 3. And in those favorites, you can basically select from either 6 predefined standard or 10 that you've customized yourself. So you can easily go into the menu here, select which one you're gonna use, and run that shot. So very easy to change between shots or what profiles you want. In saying that, we're gonna go with number 1. Just pressing number 1 now, and you'll see the shot run. To see how quiet this machine is. So we've run 20 grams of coffee. We're aiming for 40 grams out, but it really does depend on what the profile is gonna do. So far, so good. Not sure how much the camera's picking this up, because this machine is just incredibly quiet. It's actually really nice to hear it in action. You can hear that pump just pull back. So we're going post-infusion right now. And off it is. So on this shot, it's come up to just shy of 38, or right on 38 grams now. The aim was 40, but a little bit here and there won't make a difference. Just trying that coffee. Now we've emulated a very standard profile, pre-infusion, up to infusion and post-infusion. We haven't played with it too much and that coffee's come out really nice. Obviously we've been playing with this machine for a while, so in reality, I know how much different profiles will affect different coffees, but for that's more pressure profiling aspect. And I have done a video with Paul Asquith, not using this machine, using a Rocket i91, which I'll leave a link down below, on what different profiles and different settings, pre-infusion, post-infusion, longer, shorter, will do to a coffee. So to check out that video, click on the link below. Now the Sanremo U, this machine doesn't come cheap. What it does come with is a lot of technology, a lot of control, really innovative design, beautifully built and well packaged. But you could be saying, well, I can get similar results, a lot less money with something like a decent espresso. And that is true. But for me, a lot of coffee comes down to how things make me feel. I'm not always just looking at the price point or the functionality, but the overall package. When I look at the machine, how it makes me feel. How does it perform? How does it function? Do I need all the functions? So when I look at a decent, it performs really well, but it just doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me smile in the morning. It's like, yeah, I'll get nice coffee, I've got a lot of control, but that's not what I want out of coffee, especially in the morning. When I look at a lever machine, it makes me smile. Not always what I want to do in the morning, but on a weekend, it really is pleasurable to me anyway. Something like a Rocket i91, beautiful timeless design, makes me smile, has very similar functionality to this machine, and personally, I really like it. When I look at the Sanremo U, amazing design, tech, really get really nice coffee. The price point, yeah, it's expensive. So it really depends on what you want out of coffee and how it makes you feel. So I'm curious to know, the Sanremo U, yay or nay? And also, how do you feel about pressure profiling in general? Let me know in the comments below. And like always, if this video has brought you value, hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Thank you and see you on the next video.